Today's conversation is a very interesting one because sometimes relationships don't suddenly end, they slowly fade away. Two people can be deeply in love, can be going out on dates, can be talking to each other and all that, but emotionally, the relationship is already ending. So today I'm talking about signs that the relationship may already be ending, but no one has said anything about it officially. So both of you in the relationship hasn't officially said that, okay, it's over, let's go our separate ways, but the relationship might be ending. If you're interested in knowing more about this topic, then watch this video.
Alone with memories, I'm filled with longing, thinking of you, our friendship a strong bond.
The first thing I want to talk about is communication has completely broken. If you're an avid watcher of my YouTube videos, you would know that I talk about communications a lot on this channel because I always use myself as a case study. One thing that has helped my relationship grow to be strong to where it is now is because of good communication. Communication is the heart of every relationship. There are lots of things that factor into making a relationship work, but communication is one of the major things. So if your relationship is coming to an end, it's because your communication is broken. Major warning signs that the communication is broken is when the communication feels forced. Yeah, sometimes you'll be talking to your partner and you realize that it's like they are not interested in what you are talking about. Whatever you are talking about, it feels like you are forcing them to communicate with you. Another major sign is important issues are avoided. There are some people, they don't even want to have the most difficult conversations in their relationship. They want it to be all, jolly, laughing, kissing, going on dates and all that. They don't want to have the most difficult conversation or the important conversations that would help the relationship to go further, to go to the next level. They don't want to do that. So they avoid the important conversations. Another major sign is one or both of the partners stop expressing their feelings. Usually in relationships, anytime you express your feelings, you are tagged as you nag a lot, you complain a lot. It gets to a point when you're tired and you feel like you're getting out of the relationship. You stop expressing your feelings. So if your partner stops expressing their feelings, or when your partner stops expressing their feelings, you should know that there's a major problem and communication is breaking off. Another major sign is discussions start turning into arguments. There are some people, they can't have normal discussions in their relationships. They can't have the toughest conversation. Everything turns to an argument. Basic things turn into an argument. So if your basic discussions turn into an argument, you should know that you are getting there. So when people stop trying to understand each other, the emotional connection weakens. So communication will help you to understand each other better because one person will communicate their feeling, the other also communicates how they feel. So when you can't communicate to each other, to understand each other, the emotional connection starts to weaken. The second thing is when you feel lonely even when you are together. This thing happens in a lot of relationships. So being physically present but emotionally disconnected is a strong sign that your relationship has issues. In instances like this, the conversations feel empty. You are having conversations with somebody, but it's a close-knit conversation. They are not really going in depth. They are not opening up for you to get to understand how they feel and all that. Another thing is quality time feels like an obligation. In every relationship, quality time is also important. Spending quality time with your partner. So when the quality time feels like it's an obligation, you have to force them to spend quality time with you. It's a problem. Another thing is you feel unheard or unseen. Usually when you are telling your partner how you feel about certain things, they are not even bugging, they are not doing anything about it. Personally, if I'm telling you how I feel about something or your behavior, I expect to see a changed behavior. So if I'm not seeing that changed behavior and you're constantly doing what I've complained about, I feel unheard. Sometimes so I feel unseen because if you really see me and you hear me, you should take my feelings or how I feel about certain things, you should take it into consideration. And a change habit is the only way that I'll know that you are really considering me and I feel heard. Another thing is you no longer feel emotionally safe. Your partner should make you feel safe emotionally. So when you start having doubts that you are not safe with them emotionally, that's a problem. A relationship should not feel like isolating. It should not feel like you're in this alone. It should not feel like you're not heard from your partner, or it shouldn't feel that type of way. So if you start feeling this way, you should know that your relationship is getting there, is actually breaking up, even though you guys have not said anything about it. The third thing I'll talk about is effort has become one-sided. This is a major deal breaker in relationships. This is a major thing that shows that your relationship is breaking off. Relationship takes two people. It takes two committed people. I always say that for a relationship to work, it takes two people who really want the relationship and who are putting in effort to make that relationship work. So if you start feeling one-sided, if you start feeling like you are just the only one putting in much effort, you are just the only one doing everything, the relationship is one-sided, and a one-sided relationship can never work. Trust me, healthy relationships usually involve effort from both parties. Both parties need to put in the work. Both parties need to put in the effort to make the relationship work. So a red flag usually appears when it's only one party putting in the effort, it's only one party communicating, it's only one party planning dates or planning everything that has to do with the relationship. It's only one party that initiates communication. It's only one party that fixes problems. There's some people, when they have problems with their relationship, they don't care. It's always that one party that's fixing the problem. When one person stops trying completely, the relationship starts feeling unbalanced. And when there's no balance in the relationship, it will fall off. The fourth thing I'll talk about is constant disrespect or lack of appreciation. If you're in a relationship, appreciate your partner's efforts. Let them know that you appreciate them. You value their efforts they put in to make the relationship work. Love often fades when respect disappears. When there's no respect in your relationship, the love starts to disappear. Signs of such disrespect may include dismissive behaviors, hurtful comments. You start dismissing your partner. When they start saying something, as for you, you are always like this. As for you, isn't it you? Don't I know what you do? Don't I know what you say? Or start passing hurtful comments. There are some people who insult their partners indirectly. They say things to you, they know that it hurts you, but they say it to you. Another thing is lack of consideration for their feelings. Some people don't value their partner's feelings. They don't consider it. If you're in a relationship with someone, if you're taking certain decisions, you need to consider how they feel about it. If you want to do something, that's why it's ideal that you communicate things with your partner. You let them know where you stand on certain things. But if you don't consider their feelings and you take certain decisions that would affect how they feel, you don't truly love them, or you're not in this relationship with them. So you don't consider their feelings. When they are feeling some type of way, you don't put their feelings into consideration. When two people are in a relationship, they have to consider their feelings when they are taking decisions. There's a reason why you talk to your partner about certain things before you do them. It's not because you're asking of their opinion. It's not because you want them to decide for you or they have to tell you what to do. No. But when you're in a relationship, you have to make sure that whatever decision you are taking is not affecting your partner's feelings. So you need to consider their feelings when you're taking certain decisions. Another major sign is taking each other for granted. There are some people that when you start, they start a relationship from the beginning, they are so particular about certain things. But when the relationship gets to some point, they feel reluctant to do certain things. They start taking their partners for granted. If you start taking your partner for granted, the relationship will fall off. So feeling undervalued repeatedly can damage the connection that you both have. So don't make your partner feel undervalued. Don't make them feel like they don't mean so much to you. Don't make them feel like you don't appreciate them or you don't value them. That can harm your relationship because it's a major thing that affects a lot of relationships lately. The fifth thing is you no longer see a future together. When people are emotionally invested, they often imagine a future together. So that's when you hear people having conversations about when they are getting married, the number of children they want to have, where they want to live, their travel plans, their goals, because they have they are invested emotionally and they have imagined future together. So a possible warning sign is when both partners stop planning future together. Or you're having a conversation with your partner and they are talking about their future plans, but they don't see you in it. You don't see yourself in it. Everything they talk about is, so I will do this, so when I'll travel here, I'll do that. And you realize that the conversation is all about I, or they are talking about they and some other woman, and it's not you. You should know that the relationship is getting there. Another warning sign is that now they even stop about talking about future plans or discussing future plans with you. They don't talk about their future plans with you. It's all about the present. Some people even pass comments like, oh, when we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. Or let's talk about the present now. We don't know what tomorrow holds or what tomorrow brings. They're lying. It's because they don't want to have future discussions with you. They don't see you in their future, so they don't want to even start the conversation with you. Another major sign is your long-term goals no longer align. I'm always talking about goals, long-term goals in relationships, because if you are with somebody, you should all have your long-term goals should align. You should plan to get to a specific destination. But when they no longer talk about their long-term goals with you, you realize that even if they talk about it, it no longer aligns. Then the relationship is getting to doom. And this is a clear indication that there's emotional distance. And when there's emotional distance, the relationship has a problem. That until you fix it, you're not going to get your relationship back like you used to be. The sixth thing is problems keep repeating itself without resolutions. Every relationship faces challenges, but unresolved issues can build frustration over the years. So if you have problems and you're not resolving them, you're just sweeping them under the carpet. They pile up. And when it blasts or when it explodes, it becomes a problem that you can't get it fixed, or it becomes a major problem. Some examples are same problems or same arguments happen repeatedly. It's because you are ignoring them. Ignoring the problems will make them happen all the time, or will make them come up all the time. So you realize you're always having the same arguments all the time. Every time you're having these arguments, and you start feeling stuck in negative patterns. You realize that you are stuck in the negativity because every time your problems are being ignored and unresolved. So every time there's an argument, so you realize like there's too much negative energy between you guys. Anytime it's like you are just clashing. Without effort to resolve these issues, resentment grows, and resentment will set in. It will kick in, and you start resenting your partner. That's another thing altogether. When resentment sets in, the relationship is getting to doom. And the earlier you fix it, the better. If you don't fix it, your relationship is already broken. The seventh thing is emotional or physical intimacy has disappeared. So affection has reduced. There's lack of emotional closeness. You realize that both of you are living like roommates instead of partners. You are just there like flatmates or roommates instead of partners. There's no bonding. There's no emotional connection. Intimacy is not just physical. Emotional closeness also matters. So when it's disappearing, there's danger. The eighth thing is one or both parties are not fully invested now. So the relationship becomes fragile when interest begins to fade. When you realize that your partner's interest is beginning to fade. At first, even when they talk to you on phone, they are so excited. When they are planning dates, they are so excited. They want to see you. But all of a sudden, the interest starts to fade. Priorities also change significantly. You are not their priority anymore, or hanging out with you is not their priority anymore. They are finding excuses. Today there's that, tomorrow there's that. There's also someone stops caring about the outcome of the relationship. So whether you guys break up or you move on with your relationship, they don't care. Whatever happens, they don't care. Indifference can sometimes be more damaging than conflict. So don't be scared about the conflict. Have the conflict, resolve matters, and move on. But when indifference sets in, the relationship becomes stale. There's no progress. You are just there. Whatever happens, You just take it like that. So recognizing these signs doesn't always mean that a relationship must end. Sometimes it's both parties recognizing that there's a problem, talking about it and getting it fixed. Also having the honest conversations to decide whether your relationship should move forward or should come to an end. Healthy relationships requires effort, honesty, and willingness from both parties. Both parties need to be willing to make the relationship work. So you watching me, do you think relationships end suddenly or gradually? Which sign do you think is the biggest red flag? Can a relationship recover once emotional connection is lost? Don't forget to share your comments down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Turn on post notification bell so that whenever I post a new video, you'll be notified and you can watch. Until I come your way again with another video. Bye.
Alone with memories and filled with longing, thinking of you, our friendship a strong bond.